What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Truck Driver Sean YouTube channel. I have this guitar here to try out. It is a Mark Holcomb Blueburst. It is a beautiful guitar. It is set up exactly the same way that his regular Holcomb Burst was set up, with the exception of one thing. New pickups. And I'm going to go right out the gate and say that I played this for a little bit before making this video, and yeah, I'm not a fan of the pickups. Because I play very aggressive and obnoxious music, it's probably why. He plays a lot more cleaner. His gain is just, well, it's his style. And it's his guitar, so it should sound exactly the way that he wants it to, right? I personally like the Alpha Omegas over the Scarlet and Scourge. But it is what it is. So let's talk spec. Spec on the beast. This one right here, about halfway through 2024, is a 2023. Apparently, these are not selling very well, because usually you don't get something that's 6 months to a year that's been sitting around made. Not with PRS. So I'm going to go with people not a big fan of this. I don't know why. It plays great. I will change the pickups out, though. They're just not for me. They're not bad. They're just not for me. They're not for what I do. I'm not a genty boy. I am a thrashy boy. Call me a boy is kind of funny considering I'm damn near 50. But anyway, yeah, he had these designed, which we'll also test it in the upcoming weeks. I'm not set up to test it today. But this was made to work a little bit better with digital recording and modelers on stage. Now, I could plug into my quad cotex and it could sound amazing. But I'm going to say through a real amp, which I'm using the Rev G20, and it's being boosted with the TDS Effects Segment Overdrive, going into my Arachnid cabs, mic'd up with a simple, easygoing lollipop that we like to call the Sennheiser E609, directly into the camera. Alright, which is a Zoom QN84. Yeah. Okay. So, basically the difference in the pickups is you go from, they're both Alnico, or one's a ceramic 8, the Alpha Omega, and the Scourge and Scour, Scour and Scourge, Scarlet and Scourge, there we go. Alright, Scarlet and Scour, I don't fucking know. These names. The new ones, they are Alnico 8. They're lower output, but not that much lower. I mean, the original ones, the Alpha and Omega, Jesus. The Alpha and Omega, they came in at just about 13K on the bridge and 8K on the neck. The Scarlet and Scourge, I think it's Scourge, pretty sure. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. They come in at 11K in the bridge and 7.5K on the neck. It's weaker, but to me, in my opinion, it has a better magnet. It just, I'd like to see them be a little hotter because of the way the magnet behaves, but whatever. You know, ceramic, Alnico, everybody has their own choice, just like I still like tidy whities and everybody tells me I should wear boxer briefs. Well, I'm old. I like regular underwear. It's a thing. So this has a full mahogany body with a maple top, a pure maple top, and then it also has a beautiful veneer and full Paul Reed Smith style. Every veneer is different, so you'll never find one like the one you have. They've been doing that now, I think, for like 5 years, maybe 4. I'm gonna go with 5 though. The veneers are fake, so they just have a randomizer that just chucks them on there. So you technically, you're getting an SC, but you're still getting a very unique guitar. So you trust me, if you're gonna go to places like, well, my friends at Sweetwater, right? I have a thing about that going on too that we'll talk about in the future. You can go look it up to 5 models at a time, but get yourself a sales engineer, okay? Listen to this very closely. Get yourself a sales engineer, okay? It'll change how you look at ordering stuff from places like Sweetwater. Because they have 30 of these in stock, but they only let you see 5 at a time. Well, you can kind of explain to your sales engineer what kind of top you're looking for. Like if you want one that's more of like I like mine a little closer together. And I like them to look like a Mako shark or tiger shark. Yeah, tiger shark. So I tell my boy Brian Kearns, by the way. What's up, Brian? I tell him that that's what I want. Obviously, the 5 that are there, they're not there. So he goes and looks at all of them because he can see pictures of all of them on his computer. He's like, oh, there's 3 or 4 of them here that would fit perfect. He shows me the 3 or 4 that are there, and I choose the one that comes to the house. Get yourself a sales engineer. Not only that, pro tip from Uncle Sean. There's always discounts to be had. They might not be a lot. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes there's just things they can't wiggle on. But if you have a sales engineer, you can go, hey, what kind of a deal you give me on that muffler? And if you're like me, you start the conversation with, I'm not going to pay a lot for that muffler. Just saying. Okay? Yeah. So we got mahogany body, maple cap, a veneer. It has the violin cut on it, sort of like what the S2s have. Okay? And it's just a semi-violin cut, but it's a lot better than that straight, rigid one that was on there before. It has a maple neck that has a binding, ebony fretboard. Here comes the part that a lot of people are not a big fan of. It is a 20-inch radius. She is flat. She is a carpenter's dream. There's no big strip club teddies on the fretboard of this thing. It is flat. But for holding odd chords, odd chord shapes, for doing really quick runs, once you play it for a couple hours, you start to realize it makes a lot of things a heck of a lot easier. Now, if you're going to be doing cowboy chords and stuff, you're not going to be impressed with it. But if you're playing something that's a little thrashy or a little more technical, a flat fretboard radius is just a wonderful thing. I really do love it. I've said that since the first guitar. That flatboard radius to me is a gift, not a hindrance. You got 24 medium jumbo frets, 25.5-inch scale. You got the one sacrilege part that always drives me nuts. You got the El Cheapo plate bridge, which I really wish the guys from Hip Shot or somebody would just take that bridge, because it sits kind of weird. You can't just drop a Hip Shot in its place. Make something better, because this is not a good bridge. It does the job. I get it. It does a job. It's probably cheap as heck to buy overseas, but as somebody who plays, I mean, if I showed you my guitar wall, I'm spoiled. I am. I'm not going to sit here and try to pretend I'm not. It has regular PRS tuners, which now that they're making locking tuners for the SEs, why? I know no one's going to answer me, but I just paused so everybody else had a moment to go, you know what, he's right. Yeah, why? It's sort of like we started carrying spare tires. So why would you buy a car that doesn't come with one? Makes no sense. It's like windshield wipers. Well, we're going to save you $3 or $4 on a $18,000 vehicle by not putting windshield wipers on it. And you live like in the Pacific Northwest. Don't make sense. Especially when you're talking, I mean, this is not a cheap PRS SE. It is one of the more expensive ones. And it's for a guy who is known for precision playing. His tuning has to be precise. You got 3 guitar players playing nutty stuff. Their guitars have to be right. Granted, I've had no problem tuning this. It's in the drop C that it was sent in with 10 to 52 strings. But lock-in tuners at the factory cost maybe an extra $5. Why are we not getting those on our guitars? Come on, Paul. I have so much faith in you, and you're not doing it. I understand it probably comes down to dollars, but charge me an extra $10 for a guitar if you give me lock-in tuners. I'm okay with it. I think I pretty much speak for everybody on that one. I mean, really. Why would you not have lock-in tuners on a guitar? We have to rip these out. Almost everybody rips them out. And then it's a pain in the ass. Just give it to us out the gate, would you? The other thing I have a little complaint about is, again, it's labeled as a progressive guitar, and it has a plastic nut. On what universe would you put a plastic nut? Come on, man. Just put a USA nut on there. It literally would... They're probably being made overseas anyway. Just fucking put a good nut on it, man. Now I gotta yank that thing off. I'm sure that costs nothing extra. Just gonna put that out there. Real nuts. Unless you're Sean Ward. No one's woman wants him to show up with fake nuts. Alright, so, sounds good acoustically. It's got a good resonation to it. Just sounds good. Yeah, and it comes with a... Oh, I forgot all about the one volume, one tone. Push and pull on the tone will give you single coil capabilities, 3-way blade. There. The guitar. All right. It comes with a gig bag, and it's been a minute since I have acquired a brand new PRS, and I will say this without any embarrassment, shame, or whatever consequences come my way for speaking out loud. That's a shitty bag. When I used to get them before, they were nice bags. I get it. It's a cost. And again, you're already adding the cost of that monstrosity. If you have to bump the price up a little bit to give us a decent bag, I don't think anybody's going to complain if you give us a decent bag and have a little bit of an extra charge. Just going to put that out there. Because that bag is like not good. At all. It's not... I've seen sleeves that are better than that. Like, seriously. That bag is horrible. I'd yank it out, but I have it in the corner as it's being shunned. That's how bad it is. I don't even want to see the damn thing. Alright, so let's take a look. We'll go through the pickups real quick. And, yeah. We're going to start with the bridge. And then we'll do the bridge single coil. And then we'll do the bridge and the neck together, and then we'll hit the single coil, and then we'll do the neck, and guess what? Single coil. All right, here we go. The bridge and the neck sound eerily similar, like really eerily similar. It's crazy. So I'm just gonna tinker with that for a second. Start on the bridge, start on the neck, go back to the bridge. Okay, so they're not exactly the same, but they are cut from the same cloth. They're very similar, but they are different. So we're going to do a couple single note riffs, and we're not going to do the single coil on that. We're just going to move through the pickups, starting with the bridge, to the blend, to the neck. All right, so there you go. That sounds wonderful. Let's get the clean channel going here. All right, let's see what they sound like on the cleans. Well, we're going to give up because this is so weak, it can't defeat a tiny little notch on a noise gate, and I don't want to go behind it to go turn it off. So, yeah, we're going to pass on the cleans because, well, clearly these pickups are so weak. They're literally one of the weakest sets of pickups I have because none of my other guitars do that. My other guitars, I can go to the clean channel, no problem at all, especially on the bridge pickup. So, yeah. Not a fan of the pickups. The guitar's great. Pickups, I could pass on. The gig bag, I could pass on. Out of 1 to 10, I'll give it 7. Just because at the end of the day, the pickups are a huge part of what's going to make this guitar like really be versatile, be useful. And for someone like me, if I can't use a clean channel, which I barely ever do, I understand how bananas it sounds for me to say that. But really, at the end of the day, it just... the pickups kind of ruin it for me. Other than that, the guitar plays amazing. Came out of the box, like, the fret ends and everything, wonderful. Beautiful. Can't really get any better. It was really fantastic. So, yeah. Anyhow, these go for about $1,049 for the 6-string, $1,149 for the 7-string. You can always do better if you get yourself a sales engineer at Sweetwater. Just saying. Or even... I'm not going to be able to talk about this for very much longer because of an agreement, but I can say it now because I haven't like pulled the trigger yet. But you can call up Guitar Center too, and they'll work with you a little bit. Not as good as Sweetwater though. Sweetwater actually they give deals all the time, and then making money hand over fist from people that are like, I'm just going to order straight off the website and not call anybody. Always call. I probably save 15 to 20% a year, whether it's strings, supplies, gear. At the end of the year, if you look up what I spend through Sweetwater and how much I saved, it's like having a sale all the time. So yeah, heck with it. I kind of already let the cat out of the bag. I've been getting away without being a Sweetwater affiliate and getting all kinds of like the perks that the affiliates get for, I don't know, 6 or 7 years. And I was finally told to put the application in. And of course, they accepted it. But, yeah. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to make that work. Because I really don't want money from them. I'd rather be able to, like, give a discount code for somebody to go and use my affiliate link to go buy something and maybe, you know, get a little chunk change off there. You know what I mean? All right. Very cool. I'll catch y'all in the next video. If you want to find this guitar, it's available anywhere where places deal with PRS, because it is supposed to be a really popular model, but I gotta say, this is like a 2023, and we're damn near halfway through 2024. I don't know if we can kind of really stand on that it's selling good mountain, you know? But it's a great guitar. I really enjoy it. She'll be sticking around. I'm going to put lock-in tuners on it, because they didn't. I'm going to research the bridge, because they didn't. And I don't like the overseas pots. I never have, but I have a whole drawer full of PRS pots. Those will be going in there. Yeah, and of course, pure tone on the jack. If you're not using pure tone jacks, you clearly don't know what a good jack is. It makes a huge difference. Just gonna put that out there. And they're not that much more expensive than anybody else's. So if you're not using pure tone, you're just, well, special kind of lazy. All right, very cool. Catch you next video. Later.